Need to answer, I'll bring her on. Good afternoon, friends. We finally get to meet and interact with the jury for the international competition section. And that's a signal that we are winding down for the 53rd IFFI. But all of us will have to wait for the closing ceremony to know the results of the 6 categories on which the jury has deliberated. So I introduce the jury to you with the chairperson, Mr. Nadav Lapid, a very well-known film director from Israel and also a writer. Then we have Ma'am Pascal Chavans, a film editor from France, and Javier Angulo Barturen, a filmmaker, film critic, and journalist. And then we have Mr. Shudipto Sen from India, who is a writer and director. I regret that Ms. Jinko Goto, who is a very well-known animation film producer, and all of us have seen and heard of her film, award-winning film, animation film, Finding Nemo. Unfortunately, she had to leave because of some urgent work, but she has been very much part of the deliberations virtually. So I now request MD, National Film Development Corporation, to say a few words regarding the various categories in which the jury has deliberated, and then we can ask Mr. Lapid to say a few words.
Good morning, friends. I welcome the international jury members at the 53rd IFFI, and in fact they were so busy for the last few days in watching the films, and then yesterday they had in detailed deliberations on various categories. Especially 15 films were in the competition, out of which 3 films were from India, and they will choose the award for the best film, the best director, best actor, male and female, and a special jury mention. Also, there were 7 films for the best debut film category. They have also deliberated upon that. So I'm really thankful. They have put in a lot of hard work for the last few days, and they could not even visit the festival, so they were kind of complaining because we were so engaged. And now only this is the last day when the festival is about to end. So I'm really thankful. They all are very eminent filmmakers across the world, and we were fortunate and we are thankful to them to accept our invitation and be here. And now we will all want to hear more from the jury members itself. So now all over to you, Mr. Nadav. Thank you.
Like this, you hear me? Yeah, cool. Yeah, well, I don't know if I have anything extremely original to say. I mean, thanks first for this invitation. Thanks to you and to the festival. We were working really hard. Like, it wasn't a vacation in Goa. It was like, I don't know, whoever among us, myself for instance, who was dreaming about drinking cocktails on the beach, it wasn't the case. Pas Pascal, not Pascal, but I mean, we are really thankful. I don't like this we. I mean, I'm not Louis XIV. I can talk about myself. I was really, really happy to have this opportunity to come here. I've never been to India. unlike a lot of Israeli young people, I didn't travel here after my military service. And then when my movies were shown in festivals in India, there was always something else that avoided me of coming. I had a movie here, I think in 2015 or 14, who won 2 awards, and I couldn't come. So for me, it was something that a place that I knew that I'm going to get to one day, but then it never happened. So I'm really thankful. And I think that the recurrent theme today, I guess that I'm not saying anything new all over, is it the death of cinema? Is it the end of cinema? Or will cinema survive? Does cinema still has its place? Is it still important? Is it still essential, etc., etc.? So I think that when I saw all these people, all these masses, and all this city with the peacocks all over, so in a way the answer is yes, maybe. No, yes, maybe it will survive, and it might survive, and it still has a present and a future. Yeah, that's all. Thanks a lot.
Now,
I just wanted to add a few things. Being the only Indian jury, I am traveling to many places around the world to attend different festivals. मुझे लगता है मैं हिंदी में बात करूँ तो आप लोगों को अच्छा लगेगा, क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल जूरी से हिंदी में बात सुनने में आपको और ज़्यादा अच्छा लगेगा. मैं 1991 मेरा पहला IFFI था, और 2004 में जब गोवा में वेन्यू शिफ्ट हुआ, एंड इवेंचुअली इट बिकम एन परमानेंट वेन्यू ऑफ इंडियन इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल. मुझे ये बोलने में कोई आई डोंट हैव एनी डाउट और एनी हेजिटेशन टू से दिस इज द बेस्ट ऑर्गेनाइज्ड IFFI आई हैव एवर सीन. सो ऑल क्रेडिट गोज टू द ऑर्गेनाइजर्स, एंड the kind of festivals, the color, the diversity, the presenting India as a country, everything was so good about it. नदाब जैसे बोले कि हम लोगों को मौका नहीं मिला शाम को ज़्यादा पार्टी करने का या कॉकटेल पीने का, लेकिन whatever we have seen, during our travel from the hotel to the venue and few places, IFFI seriously बहुत matured हो चुके हैं. IFFI has reached to its youth, so we can expect that it will only grow from here. Thank you so much, IFFI, for inviting us. And tomorrow is the day for which we were here. I think we have chosen the best of the films. And अगर आप लोगों को कोई सवाल है हमसे तो कर सकते हैं अभी. You can go ahead and ask questions. Please don't ask about the selection because we will not be able to say. But otherwise, you are entitled to ask anything you want to ask.
Sir, very good morning.
Yeah.
Here, I think this year we have seen lot of movies or documentaries related to climate change, those things. So I think in going forward future, like earlier we had inclusivity, diversity. I think this is just on my expression. Can it be climate change related or UN SDG goals? Can that be more added to going forward? Not only IFFI, across the world global festivals. Just this is my own opinion.
It is indeed a good mention. Though our responsibility was to judge those 22 films been selected for the international competition. Unfortunately, there were a lot of up to the age issues we handled. आज की स्टोरी हम लोगों ने हैंडल किए. द इश्यूज ऑफ साइकोलॉजिकल सोशियो पोलिटिकल इश्यूज बीन सीन इन द फ्रेम्स विच वी सॉ, बट एज अ क्लाइमेट चेंज, एज द इकोलॉजी, वी डिडंट सी मच ऑफ द फिल्म्स. बट डेफिनेटली वकर साहब यहाँ पे है, हम एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं अगले साल से IFFI में वी शुड हैव अ सेक्शन ऑफ द फिल्म्स डेडिकेटेड टू द कॉज ऑफ द एनवायरनमेंट.
I have duly noted your suggestions. In fact, in this year also, we have added different components to the festivals, be it for the differently abled peoples, be it for the climate awareness, And in fact, IFFI is also being associated with an beach cleanliness drive, which will be going on from tomorrow morning. So we duly support these causes, and we'll, in the next editions to come, we'll definitely bring more movies pertaining to these subjects. Thank you.
I want to say something. Yeah. I want to thank Ravinder, and the team of the selection and attention, the secretary of the jury and 8 people, because we were in our house at home. I hear talk a lot about this festival and Goa, and I could test really here there is a cinephilia, because it's a pleasure to see the crowded auditoriums, plenty people talking about cinema on the terraces, everything. You can feel really here people love cinema, and it was a pleasure to have in this jury with these people. We had lovely relations. The festivals are the love opportunity to make friends, new friends, talk about our cinemas in different countries. But I'm director of a festival, and I can say, as with Sudipto, that this is well organized, because with 1,000 and 1,000 people is very difficult to control, to limit the actions, the program. Thank you.
My question and suggestion to the jury, maybe Javier can answer it, or anyone else, if you feel like, that the section on environment should not only be included, as Mr. Bhakar has said that he would consider it, there should be a special prize for that.
True.
The jury should award a special prize for the best film on environment and environment protection. The second thing is, I'd like to know from those jury members who have served on so many international juries at various festivals across the world, how different was it here? You had 22 films, and you had probably about 7 days in which to finish those 22 films and have all your discussions. So how different is it in other festivals? Do they have many more films, or do they have fewer films? What is the difference?
I think Nadav and
Well, first of all, I think that, as you said, when you go to many festivals, you understand that they are very different one from the other. So I don't think that you can talk about, one, I don't know, in Berlin they have around 20 movies or 21, I think, the year. So it's more or less the same number in Venice also. But the quantity of films is more or less the same in film festivals. I think that, let's say, I think that if you ask about to which extent it different or resemble other festivals, if I can sum up, I think that there is something very eclectic in the movies that we saw. I mean, the idea, the main idea, is not to present one single vision of cinema, but to try to give a kind of variety of options. I guess it's a matter of decision,
सुदीप्तो आपसे हिंदी में पूछता हूँ, बांग्ला में पूछूँ तो भी चलेगा?
हिंदी में पूछिए तो सबको
ठीक है.
Yeah. In my festival, I'm director, I'm programmer, and the official section has 20 between 19 and 21 films. So I want, sorry, the members of the other juries, the past years saying it's too much. It's too much. 4 films per day is too much.
Yeah.
in my opinion, for a jury.
Yes.
But we came here to work. work. I think in a festival, the people that pass a lovely time making juries is the jury. The jury work a lot.
Yes.
But this here is not a strange 21 films in 22. It's not a strange.
सुदीप्त जी, ये पूछना था कि आप भी इंटरनेशनल जूरीज में और जगह सर्व कर चुके हैं?
No.
नहीं.
No. As a filmmaker, I attended to many festivals. My film had been there in many major international festivals. But as a jury, this is the first time.
Right.
I was a jury in a New York International Film Festival, but that is for a particular section.
Okay.
Here it is a world cinema. Yeah.
So maybe Nadav can reply to this. The question is the system of arriving at a decision different at different festivals? You know, some places you might have a marks giving system. Some places you might have a consensus of discussing the film and then arriving at a consensus and declaring the winner.
Yeah, at the end, it's like human beings. I mean, it's not like that. There is when we come to Goa, we are the same people at the end. So it's really, on each film festival there's a different dynamic, but it's basically because the people are different. Sometimes I've been at least once in a film festival where at the end two jury members were physically fighting, and also here it wasn't so fun. No, I'm joking, but. So it might go. Because people sometimes you become very emotional about it. This is for me always fascinating to see and to feel. I think in a way at the end, I don't know. Can talk about myself. I have my movies. I'm busy with my films. So at the end, you have kind of distant attitude, but it's so intense. It's so intense, this experience, that at the end you get into it and suddenly it matters to you so much who will get the special mention for I don't know what. So it becomes emotional, and then sometimes people it might get really harsh or not.
We were talking a lot before the formal reunion. But I remember we took the decision in no more than 1 hour.
Really? we still talk one with the other, which is not evident after the deliberation.
Okay, thank you. That was a very nice reply. Thank you.
Congratulations, and all jury members. Thank you for coming to IFFI as an international jury director, and I'm thanking you, Ravindra ji, as a director of film festival. Very nicely done. My question is, just wanted to know level of IFFI international competition to kind of other global cinema festival. How is the level of this IFFI international film competition?
It is as a chairman jury. Nada would
please.
reply this.
Thanks.
The more easy words.
You as someone who at the end need to sit in the theater and watch all the movies, of course you always want it to be better. You always want it to be better. You always wish that you always I've done in the past many jury, then I stopped because I'm too busy, but this last month I think it's my third one, and you always tell yourself, but why they didn't put this movie that was so good? So it's endless. As I said before, I think that for me the question, but it's really a question I think that the festival should ask itself.
Yeah.
If, because there are always good and bad films, is it? But if the program that we saw reflect a vision of cinema, a vision of filmmaking, which is one option, or if it's like a lot of people choosing each one his favorite movie, which give different result, which is I think more or less what we saw here. For me, I mean, this is the one question, and the other question that I was thinking about was to which extent the Indian movies that we saw reflect the Indian cinema. I don't have answers because you know, I mean, like every person who like movies, I'm a huge admirer of Satyajit Ray, you know, but in the last years I know less Indian movie. I happen to see Indian movies here and there, but I can tell, like, the last thing that I can say that I'm an expert, so I don't have an answer, but I can leave it as a kind of open question.
I just wanted to ask you that it's content-wise. Any suggestions for selecting committee, international competition for India? If you have any suggestion, selecting the film for international competition,
You know,
content-wise, the label.
yeah, no, I'm only a guest here. You know, today I'm here, tomorrow I'm somewhere else. I really I just arrived, and I don't know, and I think that, you know, that I'm sure that the festival knows better. You know, I mean, I don't know how to go beyond the, you know, all sort of banalities and cliches, like, but I mean we can all improve, no? I mean, also my movies can improve, so everyone can improve, but yeah. Thanks.
Sir,
Actually क्या होता है ना, when a festival is run by government, they have their own practices. But this year, as I said in the beginning, that we could see a holistic 360-degree festival, and some of the aspects of a festival, film festivals, in comparison to the other festivals, IFFI is almost come into that age at par. So in the similar way, the selection of cinema is always a rarely. I mean, पिछले साल कुछ अच्छे फिल्म थे, इस बार और कुछ अच्छी फिल्म आई हुई है. सो ये बात करना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है कि कौन सी फेस्टिवल की फिल्म अच्छा है, कौन सी क्वालिटी क्या है, लेकिन ये बात तो always gives us space to, you know, improve, ensuring that the best film of the year come to the festival. So उसके लिए एक साल भर की प्रोसेस चलना चाहिए. हमारे इधर वो प्रैक्टिस अभी तक शुरू नहीं हुई. परमानेंट प्रोग्रामर होना चाहिए जो साल भर घूम के फिल्म लेके आते हैं, ये कान के लिए, बर्लिन के लिए. जो प्रोसेस हमारी इधर शुरू नहीं हुई, तो मुझे लगता है ये सारे सजेशंस हमसे अगर मांगा जाएगा तो हम वो सजेशन देंगे.
Sir, very good. One more. Just in last 2 years, COVID, now new norm is hybrid mode, which we saw in many festivals also, where the jury of different countries in hybrid mode only, the selection process or that happened. So just I want to know, it will be not only with IFFI, now happy to see everybody physically here in mode, but going forward in festivals also, will this new norm of hybrid mode will continue? Your thoughts
लास्ट
on
ईयर
that?
यहाँ पे हाइब्रिड था, लास्ट
I mean, jury
ईयर.
selections.
इस बार फुल फ्लेजेड हम लोगों ने वो की है.
No, not only in IFFI, that's your thoughts as a
we
new norm.
actually, we proudly can say that we have win over COVID. So if success of this IFFI is, because I think the record number of participants has come both in the festival as in the market. So it not naturally says that we win over COVID.
If you are part of earlier in hybrid mode of any jury, which you feel comfortable now,
Okay.
whether it's physical, in that way I am asking.
He's asking
Thank you.
that whether if you are any jury in any other festival where it was hybrid mode, when you were online, you were giving your.
I was in 2020. I was on the jury member in the official competition of the Berlinale, of Berlin Film Festival, and there it was what you call hybrid. I watched the film at my place, spending 10 days in a pajama watching the movie. So it wasn't so it was like the Berlinale, but it was really very domestic. I guess that of course it's more beautiful to
See it in a big screen.
I mean, I really again I'm talking as someone who really thinks that watching a good movie on a big screen in a theater, it's one of the highest achievements of humanity. So of course that to be part of it is doesn't resemble, to sit in front of your computer and hearing this beep of WhatsApp messages on a phone.
In the case of my festival, we last edition, at the end of October, last October was hybrid. This is not a solution in COVID time, but we had the edition of 20 with 25% of seats only because of the limits of COVID. And then in the 21, where the 75% of seats occupied, and then last edition was completely full of screens, auditoriums. But when we on the 20, we create a platform, our own platform, to give cinema for people at the house. They could see the films at house. So it was a good solution because we had 21,000 people seeing the films. And this year, we had 100,000 people on auditoriums and 200,000 people at home, watching films at home. Not exactly the most important films for distributed, European distributors, because they save the films for a public screen. But plenty films for documentaries, first and second films, was the people watched online. This is I think it's a solution. And this is the future. We have the two possibilities, plenty people on auditoriums and plenty people at houses watching a kind of cinema, a special program for us. And in the case of scholars, we had the last year, before the COVID, we had 31 scholars on the theaters in the city. 2 years with no scholars for the COVID pandemic. This year we have 180 people from scholars watching European movies, special, no Disney, no easy films, European author films for them. So this is a kind of solution. I want people go to the auditoriums, because in my festival, for example, there is a shock thing. I went to see the first day people, 2,000 people, scholars in auditorium, and the teacher said me, I said, why is shooting, why are nervous, why are exciting? The scholars say, because more than half people never went to auditorium to see on the cinema, never. This is incredible.
We haven't heard. Hello. We haven't heard from the female members of the jury.
Pascal?
My question is for Madame Pascal Chavans.
Translator. Okay.
Hello,
My,
can you hear
my,
me?
my English is very, very light.
Pas de problème.
Pas de problème. Okay. Translation.
What do you feel about the representation of women in the current package of films that you saw? Did you find women portrayals and women directors actively participating?
Ok. Les femmes réalisatrices françaises.
Les femmes actrices. Les femmes actrices.
Non, les actrices aussi.
Comment ils sont représentés dans les films?
Comment,
En Inde.
Dans les films.
J'ai pas très bien compris.
En général.
comment tu as trouvé la représentation
La participation
dans les films que tu as vus?
des femmes dans le
Oui,
festival.
oui. Non, I understand. But it's very difficult to answer. Very difficult. J'ai du mal à répondre à ça. Je peux pas avoir, je me souviens pas de...
En général. En général.
Je sais pas, sorti ta... Oui, tu ne veux pas, mais tu peux...
How women... You know what happened is when we watched the film, we didn't see that who is the director is the male or female, and that technically though we didn't see. But as far as the films are concerned, we saw mostly the women-centric. Women has been portrayed very respectfully, and that is one of the criteria of our selection of film also.
Qu'est-ce que je dis, bordel?
No, I didn't mean in terms of discrimination. I meant in terms of representation and participation.
Mais dans le cinéma
In the
mondial,
cinema, in the world cinema,
nous retrouvons les mêmes modèles
we find the
par
same.
rapport à la femme.
We find the same thing about women.
Il y a déjà alors ça va mieux maintenant, mais quand j'ai commencé à travailler dans le cinéma,
This is good now, but when we work on cinema,
il y avait très très peu de femmes réalisatrices.
there are very few women directors.
C'est normal.
This is normal.
C'est l'histoire politique de la Terre, enfin du monde.
This is
Et
normal.
maintenant, ça monte. Mais
This is growing now.
c'est difficile pour moi de... Moi, j'ai vu des très bonnes actrices femmes,
It's difficult for me to say, but I have seen many good women actors,
mais son rôle n'était pas très digne.
but the roles were not so very good, like,
C'est
you know,
compris,
very modest in a sense. Not honorable roles.
Oui. J'ai compris.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci
Et excuse
beaucoup.
me,
Thank
excuse
you.
me by my...
Like I said, pas de problème.
Thank you.
As much as we would like to go on chatting with the jury members, our next guests are already here. So I would like to thank the chairman of the jury and the other members and MD NFDC for sparing their time and interacting with the media. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.